Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing The Mandalorian. This is Season 3, Episode 6, or Chapter 22. And in the last one, The Pirate, as it was called, there was a lot of great action. And it sort of ended with the Mandalorian. Seems like they're going to be living on Nevarro now. And Bo-Katan, she's gonna go off to like the galaxy and find more Mandalorians because she's the one who can unite all of them. So I'm really, really curious to see what's gonna happen with that. And then at the very end, we had Carson Teva, who found like the shuttle prison transport that Gideon was with. And now then we got to confirm that, yes, Moff Gideon is on the loose. He escaped. So that is also something I'm very, very curious about, where that is going. But I think that's enough talking, unless you have anything you want to say before we start.
No, it's just the usual. We have a baby. That's hard.
Yes. And that will result in some not a lot of sleep sometimes. But anyways, before we start, I want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel, like and comment. We also have a Patreon page where you can watch full-length uncut reactions. Sync it up to your own copy of the episode. I've started a couple of new shows over there as well. There's a link down in the description below. And now, let's go. Oh, that's an interesting looking ship. Oh. It's like, how is he gonna drink that? And nope.
Yeah.
Cool. Yikes.
That's a big one.
They're behind you. It's not Star Destroyer size, but...
I meant to say that we were not aware of the majestic Imperial presence in this sector and...
Smooth talking. Oh!
We are not Imperial either. We are Mandalorian. And sadly, you're too late to hire us.
Someone else did.
Why would I jeopardize peace and prosperity? We have all suffered too much from war.
No, I didn't say anything about war. I know it was for love. But my job is not to judge, but simply to complete the tasks for which we were hired.
We love each other.
Sorry, I got to bring you back home to your folks. Don't make us damage your girlfriend's pretty little ship. Captain, please.
Yeah, you don't stand a chance here.
And I will always love you.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
I thought Mandalorians were honorable.
We are, kid. All it takes is a few credits.
All right. Guns for hire.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Whoa.
That's quite a fleet.
It took me a long time to assemble it.
Okay.
Most of it was captured from the Empire. Axe Woves is their leader now.
Axe Woves, that's his name, yeah.
It's going to take some convincing to...
Axe Woves and Casca Reeves.
It's probably best if we go in on foot.
Welcome
What?
to Parvia 15, the Outer Rim's only remaining direct democracy. You've been assigned a docking slip.
What?
Engaging automated guidance.
Automated guidance?
Is that like
AKA a tractor beam?
I guess we're going for a ride.
Yay! Okay. What sort of place is this? Like, I thought for a second there that it was Mandalorian because of the dome, but that's not the sort of dome that we saw, like the ones we saw on Mandalore, cities like Sundari.
that looks
This is interesting.
kind of familiar.
Well, a protocol droid and an astromech
Yeah.
standing next to each other.
Yeah. I want airport shuttles like that.
Permission must be granted from High Senate for access to self-defense forces in the peacekeeping zone. Do you grant
Peacekeeping
permission
zone?
to scan your chain code?
Sure.
Your presence has been requested by the leadership of the planetary democracy.
I'm afraid we have more pressing matters.
Please do not attempt to leave the vehicle. This is not a request.
What? Whoa! What sort of place is this?
Definitely prospering, but it also sort of reminds me of the Citadel a little bit.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Mass Effect.
It certainly does. It's almost like too clean. Oh, yeah.
Join us!
What?
Come! It's a party! Come!
What
Is
in
that-
the what?
is that-
That's Jack Black?
Is that? It is. What the? And Lizzo? Is that Lizzo?
What is going on?
And thanks to the New Republic amnesty program, I was able to help rebuild Plaza 15.
You were Imperial?
He was.
It is Lizzo.
Hmm?
It is Lizzo.
The fuck?
Could I perhaps hold the baby, please?
He doesn't take kindly to strangers.
Okay, never mind. If you have food.
Our charter forbids us from having a military because of my husband's imperial past.
All of our resources go to growth and the people.
I'd like to speak to these privateers.
There is just one condition.
What?
What?
You really must see the view.
Huh? That was sort of cryptic. The view. The view! Why?
Battle droids?
Former battle droids. They've been rehabilitated for civic
Battle
duty.
We
droids?
thought.
They were.
Our charter forbids any standing army from entering our city. Our constables aren't even allowed to carry blasters.
The people have voted we are a pluralistic society. You are Mandalorians. Weaponry and armor are intrinsic to your culture, are they not?
So that's the loophole?
Yep.
Unlike my brethren outside your city walls, I am not a mercenary.
Apologies if that is the impression I gave. What I intended to... 15 would formally recognize Mandalore as a sovereign system and petition the New Republic to recognize it as such.
The mercenary captain, Axel.
What do you think?
You had me at Battle Droids.
He just wants to take out some battle droids. Din is so quippy this season. Excuse me, what? Is that?
Droids reprogramming was a complete success. Until one day, an isolated event.
Freaking Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Christopher Lloyd?
And others.
Yeah.
I couldn't recognize him without hair.
What? This episode is just full of surprises. Oh no, 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 no.
Turn them off. Who's in charge of that?
I
Then
There's a fail-safe cut-off switch built into the system. However, the citizens voted against any interruption in droids.
Oh, so he can't because okay.
Give us the list.
Well, for that, you'll have to go to the lower level and speak to the Ugnaughts.
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 great.
I am Mandalorian Din Djarin, friend of Ugnaught Queel. You will answer our questions and help us with our task.
Oh, name dropping Quill, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens have been harmed by these malfunctioning machines.
This is not the case. I have spoken.
There's that again.
We, like you, have been engaged with a task to perform. We will investigate the dangerous incidents. We would appreciate your help.
Din is pretty good at this sweet talking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Diplomacy. Whoa, so many super battle droids. That, yeah.
I haven't seen battle droids since the Clone Wars. Any of them look suspicious?
All of them?
Yeah.
Show me your identification, please.
Oh, battle droids.
What are you doing?
Din?
This shouldn't faze them.
Sir?
Wow, he's really testing them.
Oh,
Recertified, huh?
you should have left them alone.
Was he just trying to figure out which one of them would malfunction?
Yeah. Pretty cool seeing battle droids, super battle droids in live action again. Gotcha.
This is a crime scene. Thank you for standing back.
Neat.
The resistor.
Sounds like a droid bar.
And there's an address.
A droid bar.
A bar for droids?
Yep, sure.
What do they drink? Oil?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, seems like it. A lot of Easter eggs in here.
We give out lots of spark pads. What are you getting at?
There has been a string of malfunction.
What is a spark pad?
If you don't start answering questions, I'll yank your memory circuit and dissect it back at the lab. Nobody leaves.
A word.
Sure.
Is this some good cop, bad cop thing?
The New Republic would send them to scrap, but here on Plaisir they are given a second chance. Organics created us. It's the least we can do.
Oh.
So Nepenthe reprograms the droids that drink here?
It patches the programming as the commands of the mainframe change. It seems the malfunctioning droids all imbibed from the same batch of Nepenthe.
Oh.
Okay.
So there's something wrong with the Nepenthe.
Yeah, at least one of the badges.
The particles are definitely present.
What are the chances that they're still active?
Pretty big. Yikes. Well, yeah. Sometimes forget he's still got that freaking saber with him.
Probably malleability limitations at this scale.
No, it's writing.
Rotate the perspective.
Whoa, that's some seriously small writing.
They were originally manufactured by the Techno Union. Been in cold storage for ages. They were requisitioned by the security office.
Is that unusual?
It's illegal. These droids were ordered by an individual.
Is there a name?
Our head of security.
Oh.
Commissioner Hellgate.
Okay. Well, let's go back to Duck.
Everyone freeze! If I trigger this failsafe, it will convert the planet's docile workforce back into battle droids.
Why though?
You're a separatist.
Separatist is a pejorative term.
Wow, okay.
Count Dooku was a visionary.
Wow.
He was cut short in his prime by the Jedi and forces.
Politics.
Same girl. Same.
Hey, that's cheating.
I am sorry to have disappointed you, my lady. Perhaps someday I can earn such forgiveness.
As for now, you must live in exile on the moon of Paraquat.
Not the worst punishment, I guess. Or depends how it is on that moon. Okay.
That's a big key.
Big symbolic
you will
gesture.
always be welcome in our domed paradise.
At least,
And
you know,
this little
making
one,
some allies.
I grant knighthood.
You what?
You are now a knight of the Ancient Order of Independent Regions.
Okay.
Grogu has been knighted. I did not see that coming.
Nope.
This entire episode is just very unexpected.
Can't wait to land something good. You can do that.
Wave.
Yeah. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of ships. A lot of Mandalorians. Are they playing ball? Playing catch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I've come to reclaim my fleet.
It's no longer your fleet. I'm now in command and grown quite fond of it.
Then I challenge you. one warrior to another.
It's the Mandalorian way.
Yeah.
A lot of different kinds of diplomacy in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Bo. Jesus. Oh, nice.
Now do you yield?
Mandalorians are stronger together.
A misguided zealot possesses the blade, who has not one drop of Mandalorian blood in his veins.
Din Djarin.
Oh, does that really matter?
The ruler of Mandalore must possess the dark saber.
Then she shall have it.
Yeah, fuck it. Just give it to her. Screw those silly rules.
While exploring Mandalore, I was captured, and this blade was taken from me.
Oh.
Bo-Katan rescued me and slayed my
Well,
captor.
that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So by that logic, it's hers. Fuck yes.
I return this blade to its rightful owner.
Oh damn, okay.
Right.
I'm kind of sad that Dennis, like, he's not gonna have the Darksaber any longer. He's not even gonna learn how to use it properly. But I'm also happy that now it's in the hands of someone who definitely knows how to wield it.
Yeah.
Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard. Nice one. Whew, okay, now we are really getting ready for the last couple of episodes here. Where, yeah, I don't know if the whole retake Mandalore thing is going to happen in this season necessarily, but definitely building towards it more and more. And now Bo-Katan seems like she's got her army back, her fleet back. They will follow her. She is, wielding the Darksaber. Din and the Children of the Watch, they are supporting her as well. Maybe they can find some more Mandalorians out there. So once they really do commit to retaking Mandalore, then it's going to be one hell of a fleet, one hell of an army. That's a possibility at least. But I am sure that like something else is also going to happen that's gonna make it like not as straightforward or not as easy, because we still haven't seen Gideon. Like now we got the confirmation in the previous one, as I talked about, that he did escape. So that's, yeah, he's out there and we don't really know what he's going to do, how many Imperials he still got like working for him or with him, and who, like, if he's in league with anyone.
Pretty sure he is.
The big theory there, of course, and what many people are thinking is that it's
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that is again something that we also building towards. I don't believe we're gonna get an reintroduction to that character in the Mandalorian necessarily. Or maybe that could be like the big holy shit moment that we're gonna get towards the end of this season.
Perhaps, or it's just gonna be a name drop or something like that.
Yeah, they just really confirm that he is in chat. Like, even though in the Ahsoka episode in the previous season, like, we did get the confirmation there that
at least that she's still looking for him.
Yes, and that other people are indeed working for him, or he is doing things again. We just don't know what. This wasn't like a really interesting episode. Like, so much happened throughout it that I was not prepared for. I don't know what I was expecting other than seeing Bo go out and try to find some other Mandalorians. I don't know if they made it clear or not that Din was going to go with her, Din and Grogu, if they mentioned that in the previous one, but they did at least, and they found the fleet that used to belong to her and all the Mandalorians who followed her. Axe Woes and Cosca Reeves. Those are the only names I know because we saw them in the previous season. There were a bunch of other Mandalorians, and they have a bunch of ships. And the Imperial, is it the corvette, a frigate? I can never really distinguish necessarily, but the big ass Imperial ship that they also stole in the previous season. Because I've seen some people talk about like where did that thing go? Like why is that? Why did that disappear? Did they just forget about it? But no, clearly they did not. This is where it is. It's with the fleet. And then, now again she has the dark saber, and then what's gonna happen? But let's get into some of this, like some of the other stuff that we had in this episode. What did you think about it?
It felt a lot like when you play like an RPG or an MMORPG.
Oh yeah.
And you go to seek help from someone, and then they're like, "Yeah, but we have this quest for you before you can go on with your main quest."
Yes.
It felt a lot like that, where it's like
It was very video game side questy thing, or like go do this, go talk to that person, solve this. Oh,
like even the way they looked like they were someone like NPCs with a quest for you, because they were so colorful and
the way they were talking, and like it was full like, and it must have been on purpose that they made this like very video gamey in that regard, because I could see a mission like this pop up in a game, something like, maybe not exactly this, but something like that in Jedi Survivor or something that's coming up soon.
Like some right on the nose, it would be like something from Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm pretty sure I've done something like this before. It felt so similar.
Yeah.
I played, just for the people who don't know, I played a lot. And I mean a lot of Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMORPG.
Yeah.
Like I played every day for like half a year, and I played many hours.
I haven't. I know it sounds weird, me being a huge Star Wars fan. It's one of the few Star Wars games that I actually haven't played, but it's mostly because I know that
you have played a little bit.
A teeny tiny bit.
Yes, because I sat you down.
Yeah,
I sat your ass down, and I said,
now you try
now
this.
You play.
Come on. And I think I just got to confirm there that if I dive into that game, I'm gonna disappear into it, because I've tried that before with
Galaxies.
Yeah, previous Star Wars MMO, Star Wars Galaxies, which I miss playing a game like that, but I don't have the time for it at all. Do have the time for a game like I just mentioned, like Jedi Survivor. Which I'm very much looking forward to playing. But either way, I definitely agree with you. This was very much like an RPG quest or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, for me, it was fun and everything, but it just felt superfluous in a way. It almost felt like they had these three amazing people, Christopher Lloyd, Lizzo, and Jack Black. And they were like, how can we fit these people into an episode? And then they just made this solely for that purpose, because it was almost... Then they went there, and then they did that, and then yada, 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 and then suddenly... He wasn't even that much of a challenge to take down or anything. It's not like he had like a huge separatist army or anything.
No, it's not like he actually did activate all the droids.
No, it felt a bit like low stakes in a way. And like, as I say, it was fun. It was like that. It was okay. But for me, it was not. I feel this season hasn't really got into gears yet. But perhaps it's just me. I just don't feel the same sort of excitement for this season so far as I've felt for the previous seasons and the 2 episodes on Boba, where like the 2 my favorite episodes from that series was just
the Mandalorian
ones.
episodes. I think many people would agree with you. And I also do think that many people do, they going to feel about this episode the way that you are. Where it's like, so what did we really need that whole side quest adventure thing there? And it's always neat seeing more of the Star Wars galaxy and more people and how it works on different planets and having it linked up to, okay, so it works like this here because, okay, this guy is a former Imperial, so that's why like they can't have their own army, but they can do something else, and they try to do the best in the democracy and employ these droids, and many of them used to be from the Separatists, and then there's someone like Christopher Lloyd's character who was a Separatist and still a believer when it comes to that, so you've got that whole twist there, so like still linking it to other things that we most certainly know about, and even getting a link back to the first season of The Mandalorian with the Ugnaught Quill. And it was also nice to see, or cool to see, more of them and Din's ability to use diplomacy when it comes to living creatures, but then he's not nearly as diplomatic when it comes to droids, so there's still something that in there from his past, and definitely with battle droids in particular.
I was just about to say, because we saw the battle droid that took out his parents. So.
Yes, yeah. So it's understandable why he felt the urge to maybe kick a super battle droid or two, because they really mess things up. The Separatists, but all of that still like being cool and having connections. It's still, for right now, really much. It feels like was that necessary for the core story? Because they could just have gone there and then went straight to the other Mandalorians, and we would have gotten like the scene, probably pretty much the same scene that we did get at the end of this episode, where Bo-Katan, she beat Axe-Woves, and she also got the dark saber back. Like, we didn't need all of that other stuff from where we're sitting right now, but it might come into play at some other point, and that's what I'm sort of thinking.
That's the thing, because usually I don't mind when they tell us stuff like this, and because it feels like it ties together with something that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But here it did feel kind of like it was not necessarily going to tie into something else in the future. I might be completely wrong. It's just like the feeling I got.
Yeah.
Where I felt like that was like the difference, because I usually don't mind fillers at all, and I don't mind where it's like, I hate the word, I even hate the word filler, because I think it's being misused, and I think it's being like, it doesn't really apply to a lot of situations, and a lot of like episodes in certain series and everything. But it's like, this just felt a bit off in that, because usually, especially when it comes to Dave Filoni, he's very good at placing these people or these like connections for us to kind of pick up on. He introduced Mayfield in that episode back in season 1.
Season 1, and that was also episode 6.
And then in this following season, we needed Mayfield again for a quest.
Yes.
To figure out where the kid was.
Yeah.
And that I completely felt, these people we will
most likely meet them again.
Yeah, at least some of them. They're gonna come back into play again. But if for this one, that's the feeling that I missed, is that
you don't see these people popping up again.
Not really. That's the thing. And that's perhaps also what's the downfall of hiring such huge and very unique actors to play these roles, because it kind of take you out of the immersion a little bit. In a way, or at least for me,
it's because it's not like you aren't really maybe focusing on the character that much. You're more focusing on the actor who's portraying that character, because it's, whoa, look, it's Jack Black, it's Lizzo, it's Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. And if it was only one of them, perhaps.
Yeah, but they threw in
three of them.
A handful of familiar faces here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it, as I said, it just kind of added to that feeling of superfluousness, or like it's like it didn't really tie into something or could tie into something in the future. I know, again, I'm probably wrong. I really hope I am, but that was like just the feeling.
Yeah. Like I can totally understand, and I've been seeing and listening to like a lot of talk online when it comes to this season of The Mandalorian, and a lot of people being like, well, like where is this going? Like this season is not as focused as the previous two. But I do hope and I do think that we are gonna like look back at it differently once we are done with the season, because I remember like some people saying the same things, like even back in the first season of The Mandalorian, because like we had the first episode where he found Grogu, then the next one protecting him and the whole thing with the Jawas, and then the third episode handing him off, but then rescuing him again. And then we had like 3 or 4 episodes after that where people started being like, "Ooh, now I don't know. Now it's just like an adventure of the week sort of a deal every time, and it just seems like a side mission, and like now it's not connected any longer." And then they sort of refocused the plot, if you can call it that, in the last couple of episodes. And I think we got some of that in the second season as well. So I think it's just, for me at least, my feelings when it comes to it is like that's just how they write these the Mandalorian seasons, is starting off with, okay, here's a bit of a focus in this season. It was the becoming a Mandalorian again, and the bathing in the living waters, and reintroducing Bo-Katan more into the story, and then we're getting like a lot of information and a lot of new stuff, and stuff that might seem like, and again, yeah, I hate using this word, but might seem like filler in the middle episodes, and then refocusing the plot again in the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, but as I said, usually I don't mind those go fetch quests at all. I don't mind them in video games either, I gotta say. I freaking love them. But again, it feels different. And perhaps it's just perhaps it's just me, and it's just because I am 4 years older now than from season 1. I don't know. I
don't think it's just you, because as I said, a lot of people have been saying the exact same things that you're saying online, and I do also I agree with some of that, and I feel like I'm just.
But my point is, I don't want to be lumped together with people that felt that the first season was like.
Oh no! I wasn't saying that. I was just trying to like that was my own thought process, and just also talking about what other people online have been saying, not necessarily that it's the same as your opinion or anything like that. That's just where it sprung from, because you mentioned that this episode felt a little bit like that, but. We'll see. We'll see where things go in the last 2 here when we get to them. I think that both, like, they're directed by Rick Famuyiwa, both of them. So like the last 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have a feeling that again, they're gonna be very connected, and we're finally gonna see what's up with Gideon, and then I'm sure there's gonna be a couple of surprises along the way. But I do still really enjoy seeing stuff like getting stuff like what we got in this episode, and just learning more about different places in the galaxy.
Sure, absolutely, and
it's beautifully, like it's really well made.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. I would love to go there.
It seems like a utopia almost, if it wasn't for like the droids maybe losing it, but that. Hopefully won't happen again, because now they apprehended the guy with the nanotech and
I can't remember who it was. It was an old, I don't know, communist, socialist, someone who said that if we automated all work and like left it to such things as droids and machines, then we would have more time for arts and I can't remember what he called it, but this like
recreation.
Yeah, recreation, exactly. And I always love that thought, where it's like, okay, so all like the basic stuff is out of the way, so now we can just enjoy life, basically.
Yeah, focus on a more cerebral living than actually having to do physical work.
But then things happened, and I will not say any more about that, but I just thought that this was very like on the nose when it came to that particular. They're usually philosophers, and then the philosophy is then being used for some political
and that there are like arguments for and against
but
living like this.
And it was amazing to see like all these old droids being refurbished and like
getting a new what's it called, new goal, new purpose. Thank you. Yes, a new purpose where they do want to help and do good, and as that bartender said, like humans in particular, like there's a lot of humans here, and I'm sure it also goes for other alien species. They don't live as long as we do, but they are our creators, so we want to help them for as long as they are alive.
And also then, they would just be to scrap.
They would be just thrown away if they couldn't help. So like there's still the whole thing with like droids and how many rights do droids deserve like in the Star Wars galaxy, because they do feel like they are very intelligent, many of them, and feel very alive. So we don't think of them as just droids or just robots.
No, and that's what Star Wars does, right? Like it always have done. Has done. It's R2-D2, for example. Straight from the get-go, we get R2-D2. That's like the most amazing little astromech. And then we get something like BB-8, and we always have these small droids, and they feel much more, not necessarily human in that regard, but more than just a machine with a program.
Yeah, like
they have personality.
They have personalities and quirks, and they are like such a big part of these stories of this galaxy.
You care for them, right? Like,
definitely, and even like seeing battle droids like doing manual labor like this, and a B1 battle droid like standing there and talking and being like, please don't use violence.
Don't antagonize them, please.
Yes. And it's like you can't help but feel for them in a way. Just feel that they are more than just machines. So I like that addition a lot to this story, and seeing how it works in this society. And then again, as we've now said multiple times, even though it does take us out of the experience sometimes a little bit, because you have a tendency to just go like, oh, it's that guy, or like it's that actor. It was still cool to see, like, oh, Jack Black in Star Wars. I hadn't thought of that like being a possibility, really, like anything he'd be interested in. But of course, still, like many of these...
He's probably he is a major geek, so of course he would love this.
Many people now, like, they grew up with Star Wars, and if they get the chance to be in anything Star Wars, they're going to be like, yeah, sure, that's a big hit of nostalgia for me. Like, that was my childhood, so... Heck yes. So of course you can get people like Jack Black, and like Lizzo, perhaps same thing. I don't know. Yeah. Christopher Lloyd, like he's a freaking legend, and from Back to the Future, obviously there's his own like big sci-fi fantasy franchise there, and now he's also in Star Wars, and that was difficult, like hard to. Wow, I can't talk anymore. I think we should just end it here. My brain is just doing the shutdown. Enjoyed many aspects of this episode, and can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. Leave it at that. Do you have anything you want to add to it before we get into Danish word of the day?
No, I think that said it all.
Fair enough. Okay. But since we had a lot of things or themes rolling around work in this one, like people not doing work or having droids to do the work for them, them not having a military, hiring Mandalorians to do that sort of work for them. Yeah, thought that'll be a good Danish word of the week to get into. So work in Danish is
arbejde. And it's one of those words where you can use it as a verb. So it's to work is at arbejde, or if it's just a noun, like it arbejde. So, okay, and then this sounds pretty similar, but at arbejde and then it arbejde. So it's like
to work,
and then just like work. You can't say a work, but like.
But you could also say like it arbejde is a work, but then in English you would say a job.
Yeah. So
if you have a job, du har et arbejde.
Yes.
But just to make it simpler for you guys, we'll just go with work, arbejde. Danish word of the week. Of the day?
Day, work, whatever.
Well, day, work,
week. Yeah.
Week. Yes. It's completely shutting down. We're done now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the force be with you. Bye.
Bye.